Hello, MWHS family, students, and staff. Hey, thanks for engaging in this screencast about the bell schedule that staff and students have worked really hard to co-create over the past 6 months. Admittedly, I will talk pretty quickly because you lead busy lives. We want to get as much information in here as we possibly can with more to follow. We're excited to review what we think will be a great structure to support teaching and learning in all of our activities here at Mount Westonka High School for next year and years to come. First, let's remind ourselves why we're here. Every day we come to school as students and staff because we're trying to be the best version of ourselves. We believe that's why schools exist, and we try hard to create the best learning environment and culture to support that goal. Okay, let's review the process that led to the decision to change the bell schedule. A year ago, with the compass of examining what we could do to support the social and emotional well-being of students, Superintendent Borg and the school board started some engagement with students, their families, and staff about the possibilities of a later start time to the school day. In December, after engagement with all stakeholders and considerations of what other districts have also done, and coupled with the latest research on sleep and its value to our students, the school board approved a later start time of 8:20 for the 1920 school year. The end of the school day was identified at 3 p.m. As a school, we were then charged with creating a learning schedule that supported the goals accomplished by this later start time. So in taking a look at time and making sure the task drives time, we set out to really try and anchor our new learning schedule in 3 pieces. One, we aim to pay attention to the social emotional health of our students. We did that through creating an opportunity to have a couple days a week with fewer academic classes. We also aimed at creating opportunities for more rich academic intervention and enrichment by doubling our weekly win time. And finally, we look to elongate some of our instructional periods to create even more rich hands-on learning opportunities for our students. So we rolled up our sleeves and we're about to take a look at the schedule that we arrived at. You will also be receiving not only a copy of this connected to the Skylar, but follow-up information about how lunches work and how win time will work at a greater level of depth. But first, let's just take a more broad look at the schedule itself. Here's what a typical 5-day week would look like at the high school. Generally, we'll start each Monday with a 7-period day, similar to the way we have now. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, however, it will feel different. We have longer instructional periods of 85 minutes. Note that on an odd day, block day, students have 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th hours. And on even days, they will start their day with WIN, and then they'll have 2nd, 4th, homeroom, and 6th hour. On Thursday and Friday, we return to the 7-period day, as described previously as connected to the Monday. You may be asking, well, what about unconventional weeks like MEA and Thanksgiving and more? Well, for those shorter weeks, we've already designated which days are period days and which days are block days. Our commitment to you is that will be well communicated in a timely manner so that everybody can predict what to expect on those untraditional weeks. So what does this all mean? Well, in this model, students have expressed appreciation for the following. First and foremost, more sleep. Of course, we need to do some messaging with students to remind them of the importance of self-discipline and going to bed at night to take advantage of sleep on the other end of things in the morning. They also express some appreciation for knowing that 2 days a week, they've got fewer academic classes to prepare for. With all the things they juggle with activities and the number of classes and coursework, they've appreciated this opportunity to slow down during the middle of the week. Students involved in athletics and activities that might have practices or meetings on Tuesday nights, they've also expressed the appreciation for coming to school on Wednesdays, knowing they have win time on Wednesday and a lighter class load for which to prepare. We are looking for possibilities for students to visit more than one teacher during win time, but more details will follow on what students can expect during win time. Overall, they just appreciate a more balanced approach to the learning schedule and the opportunity to increase their one-on-one interactions with teachers, to do some relearning or even some reassessments. One notable change is that our junior and senior students will experience a difference in terms of win time. In order to satisfy instructional minutes designated by the Minnesota Department of Education, junior and senior students will be required to be in attendance for win time. We think we can turn this change into a positive one for our juniors and seniors for several reasons. We know from analyzing data that more juniors and seniors can take advantage of this valuable time to work in smaller groups and one-on-one with teachers on their academic classwork, both on the intervention and the enrichment side of things. And we anticipate being able to provide enrichment opportunities through seminars and presentation on relevant topics with them throughout the year that will serve them both well for their time here at the high school, but also beyond as they consider where they will be after high school. In closing, we really set out with goals that we were charged off with the staff and student body to create a learning schedule that would meet the goals of a later start time. I'm proud of the work that our staff have done to provide input on the new learning schedule. And we are excited to head into the 1920 school year with this schedule. In summary, we've really kept these three goals in mind: social and emotional health of our students through creating a structure that would promote a healthy pace to the school week. We've achieved this through a mix of 7-period days and block days, or what we call a modified block. We have increased the intervention time and enrichment side of the school experience for students by doubling the amount of time provided for students and staff to connect to discuss academic coursework through re-learning and reassessments. And we've increased the amount of instructional time and periods for hands-on learning. We've created a block instructional period on Tuesdays and Wednesdays that provide more time for teachers and students to dive into topics at a greater depth and engage in learning activities that require more time. We look forward to sharing more about this learning schedule as the spring progresses. Should you ever have any questions or concerns prior to receiving more communication from us, never hesitate to reach out to me via email or phone. Thanks again for taking the time to listen. We're excited for all that there is to come in the 1920 school year.